What's up guys, welcome to a new video. This is Sunny from personalmasteryquest.com, and today I'm going to be showing you a reality transurfing trick that's going to help you find simple solutions to complex problems. Without wasting any time, let's get right into it. To understand this concept, you have to really start looking at your brain as a radio transmitter and receiver, and start looking at your thoughts as radio waves, which have certain frequencies. So just like a radio, radios, the way they work is they tune into one frequency and they download all the information coming from that frequency. It picks up one radio station and that's it. The particular radio station that is operating at that frequency. So just like that, your thoughts, different types of thoughts, different types of emotions have different types of frequencies that they're emitting. This is like the energy that you really radiate through your state of being. And when your brain is tuned into a certain frequency, this is what you're feeling throughout your body, and it's having thoughts of the same nature which are of that frequency. You are kind of tuned into the universal radio, and you are only picking up more, you are attracting more to yourself which is congruent with that frequency. So if you take, for example, a billionaire is operating at a certain frequency, and he's going to be downloading from the universe a very specific type of reality, a very specific type of experience, certain situations that he's downloading from the universe. That's the way his life is going to unfold within those type of frequencies. Compared to a homeless man who is at a completely different frequency. Obviously this is an exaggerated example, but the homeless man is at a very different frequency than the billionaire, and he's downloading from the universe a very different type of reality. The situations and the events of his life are unfolding in a very different manner than the billionaire. They're both human beings, but based on the different type of vibrational frequencies that they're emitting, they are downloading different types of realities. And a personal daily life example that you can really kind of relate with is, just say you have a really good day, you're having a good day, you're at work, and it's still early on in the day before lunch. Because you feel good, usually that day just runs smoothly. Things go well, you might not hit traffic, small things like that. You might even have certain good things happen to you. Alternatively, when you are, let's just say you hate the rain and it rains that day, so you're in a bad mood. Now everything starts to unfold in that frequency. You start to have a bad day, and your bad day keeps getting worse and worse and worse. We've all kind of noticed this happening, and that's why it happens, because you are tuned into a certain frequency, and what your brain does, it just keeps downloading more experiences that will help you prolong that frequency. This is why I always say state is king. Your current state of being, your current state of mind is what is going to determine your entire life. So then now, what happens when we come up against a problem in our daily life? Well, problems are usually a result of an underlying feeling that we are holding on to, that we're just suppressing or neglecting, a feeling that we might be trying to run away from, a feeling that we're just refusing to face. That feeling is trying to resurface, and it's finding a trigger in our environment for it to release itself. The frequency of that feeling or emotion that is being suppressed will create a problem in your external life that will kind of unfold in a similar vibrational frequency as that emotion. And now if you look at this diagram, you'll see at the bottom the big blue frequency wave. That is the frequency of the underlying emotion, and that is the frequency on which the problem was created. Look at all of the black lines as just different frequencies. And then at the top, you see that red frequency, which is the frequency on which the solution exists. And between those two is the vibrational difference. So let's say you are on the blue frequency right now, right? On this frequency, the problem was initially created. And on this frequency, the solution does not exist. The only thing that exists is more problems of a similar nature that will unfold in a very similar manner. Now, the longer you stay tuned to this frequency, not only will you not find a solution to your problem, but you will actually create more problems that stem from that first problem. And alternatively, any solution that you might think of on that, while still on that frequency, let's just say you think really hard and you force a solution. Now, whatever solution that comes while you're still on that frequency will just create more problems in the future. It might temporarily solve your problem, but it will create bigger problems or just as big of problems in the future. So what most people do when they come up against a problem is they try to force these solutions. They really work hard on trying to find a solution to the problem. The biggest mistake that everybody makes is that they stay within the same frequency of thought that created the problem in the first place. And that is why people struggle to solve their problems. People really can go through months and years and still be stuck in the same kind of pattern. It's because they're stuck on that same frequency. They fail to raise their vibrational frequency up to the frequency on which the solution naturally presents itself. So the solution for this is, when you come up against a problem, don't try to force a solution. Don't try to look externally for a solution. Turn within and experience and face the feeling that is trying to resurface. So what happens is, we are always just holding on to so many feelings. We are literally a bag of feelings that, all these feelings are just trying to resurface and release themselves. And they try to create problems and situations in which we feel the emotion again so that they can be dealt with properly and just release themselves and pass through you. As much as you don't want the negative feelings within your consciousness, within your awareness, the negative feelings don't want to be in you forever either. So they're trying to pass through your awareness, but what happens is, most people, when these things come up, they just kind of suppress the feelings and hold on to those feelings for the rest of their lives. What happens when you actually turn within to find a solution rather than going externally and trying to force a solution, you start to experience these feelings that are trying to resurface. And when you feel them and you experience them and just let them pass, what happens is that you raise your frequency, you elevate it, and start to go to that frequency where the solution exists. And you start to download essentially a new reality. By changing your vibrational frequency of your thoughts, your emotions, what you are really doing is changing the course of cause and effect relationships of your future that dictate how your life will unfold. So essentially, really, you are downloading a different reality than you would have if you were previously still on that blue frequency. And as you elevate your frequency and just say you go from the blue to the red, where the solution exists, on this vibration, the solution doesn't have to be thought of. It doesn't have to be forced. What happens is, it usually just automatically presents itself. The solution just comes to you. So this is how you put this into action. When you come up against a problem in your life, turn inward and ask yourself, how do I feel? Why is this happening to me right now? What is this problem trying to, what emotion is this problem trying to resurface? Why is this happening to me? That's step one. Step two is ask yourself, what kind of things have you been trying to suppress? What emotions are you running away from? What are some things that may have happened recently or in the past that you just have not dealt with? What are you avoiding? And just take a minute. Don't try to force any thoughts. Just ask yourself these questions with your eyes closed and just see what comes up. And face what comes up rather than suppress it even more, or trying to avoid it and run away from it even more, or maybe going on your phone and distracting yourself. Just see what comes up, don't force anything, and just be with it. Face it, confront it. Now, number three, when an emotion comes up, or maybe a thought, a situation that you just remember, whenever that comes up, see what correlated feeling it has with it, and start to feel that in your body. Take your consciousness away from your head and bring it to your body. Usually you'll feel it in your chest and your stomach area, and just become conscious of how you're feeling. Ask yourself, what am I feeling within my body right now? What kind of emotion is present right now? Don't judge it, don't evaluate it, don't label it as good or bad, and don't run away from it. Allow yourself to feel the emotion that is coming up and simply just be with it. Now, what deals with it is awareness. When you bring your awareness to this emotion, what happens is you truly just experience the emotion, you feel its energy, and the emotion runs out of energy and just dissipates. It dissolves and it passes straight through your consciousness. And now what you have done is you have elevated your frequency. The vibration of that negative emotion was keeping you down. And a lot of your subconscious energy was going towards suppressing that emotion. And that emotion, that vibration was still operating through your subconscious, and it was attracting certain things for you. So by just letting it go, you are not only freer of your energy, but you are also you have also elevated your own frequency, and now the solution could come to you. Whenever you do this exercise, whatever emotion comes up, just be with it fully, breathe into it, keep breathing, just being with it fully, experiencing it, not judging it, not running away from it, and it will soon dissipate. And you'll feel a sense of relief right away. That's usually the indicator of if you have dissolved the emotion or not. You feel an immediate sense of relief. Now, what happens if nothing comes up? What happens if you just can't figure it out? This happens a few times. It's okay. At this point, don't try to, again, force a solution. If you really can't figure out why this is happening, if there's no underlying emotions, it usually just means that your ego or your mind is resisting to even face that emotion, and it's not even trying to dig it up, and it's not allowing it to come up. So at this point, just try to work with your desire to solve the problem. Let go of your attachment to solving the problem, and do that with the same exercise that we just spoke of. Feel your desire to solve the problem within your chest, within your body. Become aware of it, how badly you want to solve this problem. Ask yourself, what will happen if I don't solve this problem? How is my life going to change? What is not going to change in my life, right? Just go through that whole scenario, and whatever feelings it brings with it, feel those feelings, breathe into them, experience them, let them pass through you. This will kind of do the same thing. It might not free the actual underlying emotion, but at this point, just go with the flow of life, trust in the universe, and sooner or later, either the solution will automatically present itself, or the feeling will actually resurface, and then you can do the exercise then and simply let it go. Regardless, it will result in you finding the solution to your problem. Now, I'll give you a personal example of this exact thing that I did, that I put into practice literally like a week ago. So my recent videos when I was in a park, right, and near that water. So what happened was I went there to film those 2 videos, and I was sitting on a bench for however long. And after I was done filming my videos, I just got myself together and started walking to the car. At that point, I realized that I don't have my keys on me. So I go back to all of the benches where I was kind of like walking around or sitting on. I go to all the areas where I had previously walked, couldn't find my keys. And I'm getting frustrated because I've been now for a while, and I just want to go home, eat lunch or whatever, and I can't find my keys. So now that vibration is going, that frequency, I'm on it. I'm like frustrated, I'm irritated, I'm just like, damn, I need to find my keys. And instantly I became aware of that I am on this frequency right now, and the solution does not exist there. My keys, even if they're right in front of me, my mind will just not see them. It will create this illusion where I just walk past them every single time, because on this frequency, the solution does not exist. So what did I do? I simply just went by the water, sat on just a regular bench, and just breathe in, breathe out. I did this exercise, and really, for me, no emotion came up, no kind of underlying feeling came up. So what I did is I worked up with my desire to solve this problem, and I just let my attachment to solving the problem, I just let it go. And I instead just enjoyed looking at the water, enjoyed the sunshine falling on my face, and first worked on my state. I worked on just feeling better. At one point, I even forgot about why I'm sitting there. I forgot that I'm sitting there because I hadn't found my keys. So now that I'm feeling better, I'm like, okay, let's go search again. And I'm not even kidding to you. As soon as I literally began that search, I walked by this one bench, the only bench that I hadn't walked by before, and my keys were right there. And the people sitting there were watching my keys for me. So you see how this works? Like before, when I was on that frequency of the problem, when I was frustrated, I was irritated, I had literally checked probably all the benches around there, but it didn't even occur to me to check that one bench, the first bench where I actually sat throughout that day. And as soon as I worked on my state and I felt better, that is the first thing that occurred to me. Solution presented itself. So that's what I'm trying to propose to you today. When problems come up in your life, don't just play around on the surface and try to work with the consequences and the effects of that problem. Don't try to force a solution and fight reality, fight the world, and try to force a solution on the world. The problem is on a certain frequency and the solution is on a completely different frequency. Instead, go to the root level. Work with the cause of the problem. Why is this problem here in the first place? Deal with the underlying emotion, release that emotion, and elevate your mood, elevate your state, elevate your frequency. The solution will present itself. And I encourage you to try this throughout every single day, right? Make this a daily habit. Even if you come across little inconveniences like not finding your keys. The objective is not solving the problem. The objective is dealing with the underlying emotion that is causing the problem to come up in your external life in the first place. So I firmly believe that once you start this practice, you'll see how powerful it is, and this is changing the entire way you look at problems. If you have any questions regarding this method, put it in the comments down below. Also, just let me know what you think of this method. I know it's very different. You know, this is not a method that's usually talked about, but now you can see the result of that is most people not finding solutions to their problems. That's why, you know, we don't even know how to deal with our problems. So put this into practice. Let me know how it works for you, and comment down below if you have any questions. That's all I have for this video though. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Share this video with a friend who would also find it helpful. If you'd like to get coached by me one-on-one, the link for that is in the description box below. Other than that, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.